So I'm just taking a quick video to show you what an old every single train that's in my collection. I have some that still need to be fixed and restored, but apart from that, this is the trains that do work and that have been fixed. So starting with Transformers, I have the Type V, which runs my train layout at the moment. That's from 1948. We've got this Rhino Transformer 1033 from 1954. That is a 90-watt transformer. One of my favorite transformers as well. We've got a marked transformer. This is also from the 1950s. It works, and it's actually the only transformer that has its original plug still on it. And then from the 1950s, we also have this Rhino transformer. This is a 35 watt one, and they all work as well. But that one has had its cord changed, as well as my 90 watt, and as well as my 150 watt, which is this one has also had a new cord as well. Because the old rubber cords would tend to wear or break if they were sitting for a long time. And then over here is, I'm going to start with my engines. We've got the Santa Fe's. They're the oldest right now in my collection from 1948. They're also one of my favorite engines. We've got the engine and the dummy unit as well. And they're in really good condition. They run really nice. And I love the color of them. Just beautiful engines. And then over here we've got an Amtrak engine. This does have passenger cars, which I will show you in a little bit when I get to those. This train is actually from the 1970s. It was more of a cheap end set, but I actually like it. Somebody gave it to me, and I cleaned it up, and it works really well. Probably have more steam than I do diesel, but I do like diesel engines. Hopefully add some more to my collection. Then we've got from the 1950s. I believe this is 1952. This is my Rhino turbine. This is a beautiful engine, and it was a very big selling engine when it came out, as well as with the Santa Fe's. And then over here we've got a Marx engine. This is the Mark 666. This was from the 1950s. It's also one of my favorite engines. I actually don't have, I like all my engines, even though the Santa Fe's are probably my favorite. And then we've got this. This is more of a cheaper engine from Marx. It doesn't have a smoke unit. It doesn't have a light bulb in it. It's just a motor, and it's very simple. But it does work pretty well. It doesn't like doesn't like the curves. Because this is the old dirty one curve. Well, it likes old 27 because that's what that was built for. The main reason is because it doesn't really have any weight, so it doesn't really weigh enough to actually handle the turns as well. So, yep. And then if I come over here, just past this, we've got all the tenders. I have 6 coal tenders in my collection, which I forgot I had some money. We've got this one. This actually goes with another steam engine. This is a post-war from the 1950s. That would be 1954 as well. It's from the 1950s. That's to one of my Marx engines. This is a later version of a Rhino tender. This is from the 1970s. This one actually has like a chugging noise in it. But I got it from quad shell with some other pieces, and the sound is not really working properly like it should. And over here, this is from the 2004. This is a Western tender. It does work, but I don't have the control that would allow me to control like the horn or whistle on an engine. Right now I have to find something. Now over here I've got 10 plate marks coal tender. Pretty cool. I like the tin plate. It's unique, different. New York Central. Then we've got a Rhino tin plate. That's a beautiful tender. That's in very good condition. Then over here we've got the gondola cars. We've got 3 of them. This one's more from 2004, like that tender. It's a set. This is the Mark's gondola. It's nice. Not the most detailed, but it's a really nice gondola. Not crazy for the color, but it's actually a really nice. I don't like the color. The color doesn't bother me. It's not as detailed as a Lionel piece, but it is certainly a really nice piece. And then we've got, this is actually a really cool gondola car from 1948, and I do have its original box with it, and that's actually in really good mint condition. Couplers are there, the wheels are fine. Yeah, it's very nice. Different than Prac. I do like the Prac, just it's not crazy for Prac, but it's a nice gondola. It's different. This actually has a different coupler than most of my pieces, but I actually don't have a preference over any piece of my collection. I like all of them. Some of them is different color, but that's what came with the set. And that's would have been with the set as well. Then over here we've got a flat car. This is a K line. Got this from the other stuff that I got from the garage sale as well. Then we've got a tank car. This is a Rhino tank car. It's a Sunoco. And this actually has its original boxes from the 1948, 49 era as well. There was different variations, so there were different years. The blue gondola was actually the first variation of that gondola, so that would have been the 1948 version. And then we've got Mark's tank car. So the only thing between Mark's and Rhino is well, the between the difference on the cars really is that Rhino's was a little bit more detailed. I actually preferably like Mark's a lot as well. The only thing is I can't run Mark's cars and Rhino cars together because the couplers are different. So that's the only thing. Actually, I like Mark's as much as I do Rhino. I don't. They're both really made well. We've got a Mark's 10 plate tender. I mean, not tender, caboose. I believe that's from the 1940s, 41. Not exactly sure. And over here we've got a lot of cabooses. We've got a Rhino caboose, Pennsylvania Railroad. We've got another one. This is a Rhino as well. Beautiful caboose. I just actually restored that one. Then this is another Rhino caboose. And this actually goes with that blue gondola and that tank car. It was the Scout set, so it has a different coupler on it. And then over here we've got the Mark's caboose. And then over here we have a Rhino caboose. And that one actually lights up. That's a really beautiful one from the 1950s as well, which is pretty cool. And then over here we've got the passenger cars that go with that Amtrak diesel engine. There's 3 of them. There's the dome car, passenger car, and then the observation car on the back. And then we have an American Flyer passenger car also over there as well. And I fixed it and cleaned it as best as I can. Hopefully, maybe one day I'll actually repaint it, but right now I'm just not really sure what I'm gonna do with it because I don't really correct American Flyer, but it's still a very unique piece. And that's all the engines in my collection, or engines and the pieces of rolling stock in my collection.